Good day to you all. I want to talk about my Spyderco knives just for a second. I want to talk about how I came to really like Spyderco blades. Because before, back in the day, I really thought that they were ugly looking things. And what I hated most of all was the big old thumb hole in the blade, which I thought was just unnecessary and rather vulgar. But I was won over later when I bought this knife here. And because I thought, while I was watching many reviews on different kinds of blades, and this, the Sage 1 came up quite a bit. What is this thing? What is that? Let me see if I can get rid of this. Bear with me for a second. Clear. There we go. Yeah, so, after many reviews, of this, because people were raving on about this quite a bit, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. So I made the leap, bought this Sage, which was my first ever Spyderco, and I bought the Phoenix there. And I started looking this over, and as I was looking this over, I started to realize or understand what people who owned and used this knife were talking about, because the fit and finish on this is excellent, and it had carbon fiber, which is textured. It was screwed in construction, had a paper clip, had a pocket clip. It does look like a paper clip. It's deep carry. It's not too heavy. It's got a really nice blade shape. It's a big blade, and okay, it's not a huge blade, but it's big enough. Choil, so you can choke up on your knife like that, or choke up on the blade. Jimping, which does work. You got chimping below as well, and and people did kind of go on about the way that the sound is made when it locks up, which is like this. It's kind of like, it just sounds solid, and it has milled out liners in there, also to reduce the weight. And then I started to look over this thumb hole, and I started to understand why they came up with this. And first of all, you could have a thumb stud here, but putting a thumb hole instead, you solve the problem of having to come up with a knife that left-handed users would be happy with. So again, right hand, left hand. Oh, I'm not very good with my left hand flicking, so there you go. Not as easy to close with the left hand, mind you, but it is doable. I think people who are left-handed can probably close it a lot easier than I could, since I'm naturally right-hand man. And the blade centering was also very good. And the standoffs, the flow-through construction, there's no blade play whatsoever. Came razor sharp out of the box. I'm not sure if I can do. See that? Still as sharp as ever. And I was just so impressed with this. The package, the whole package was just fantastic, and I was really impressed, and I was completely won over by Spyderco then, and I thought that these knives were ugly before, and then I started going crazy with Spyderco knives. This was the second one that I bought, the Spyderco Phoenix, designed by Howard Vale, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And again, fit and finish was outstanding. Really, really started to understand. And the other thing I like about Spyderco is that they do tend to listen to their customers. And there aren't many companies that do that. And they'll, if there's something that they'll put out a knife, and if there's something that people don't like about it, they'll say, well, Spyderco, this, why don't you bring out a knife with I don't know, more ergonomic handle, or deep carry pocket clip or something like that. And then Spyderco may just bring out another version addressing those complaints. And I think that is really, really cool for anyone to do. Really, it just shows that they're listening, and they're reacting to the the calls of the customer, which I think is really, really nice. If more companies did that, well, the world would be a better place, wouldn't it? Well, we can only dream. And I just like companies that do that. I mean, a fit and finish on some of these knives is not. I mean, they're not 100%. They're not perfect. I mean, perfection is what is perfection? One of those unattainable things. But their fit and finish on their knives is like fantastic. It is really, really good. They usually get it right, which is, compared to other knife manufacturers and even custom makers, and custom makers should take note, really, because someone's going to be making a knife with all the exotic materials, and it looks all nice and fancy and slim and cool looking, and then the blade centering is off, and there are grind lines and machining lines where you don't expect to see it, or you don't want to see it, or the blade, the stone wash isn't quite right. It's not perfect. When you start getting into custom knife money, you want everything to be perfect, don't you? So. But actually, I'm not going to close it. So yeah, it's something that I think that not just custom knife makers, but other knife makers should take note of. I just think that they really are very, very cool knife making company. And I think they started off making, was it sharpeners or just kind of cutting implements, not so much knives. I think they only started getting into knives. I forget the year, but I believe that they are only sort of concentrating on sharpeners and things like that, and then they kind of expanded into knives later on. This is quite a few years ago now, but correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, haven't done research into the history of Spyderco, but I'm just talking about how I feel about their knives, and I have to say that I really like them. I mean, today I have more Spyderco knives than any other knife make or knife brand in my collection. I mean, I do have Benchmade stuff. I think I have three Benchmades, which consists of these. So I've got my 300, my Bedlam, and my Bone Collector. And I like these because they're unique. I like stuff that doesn't look the same. So I have my reasons for why I went for those. But then I just kind of seem to be gravitating more to Spyderco knives than anything else because they just look cool. And that's kind of really all I wanted to say. Yeah, I just really like Spyderco knives, and I know I may be coming across as a Spyderco pro Spyderco or Spyderco fanboy or something, but I really don't mean to be. I just like their knives a lot, because they make some very good stuff, and they're prepared to experiment with different steels, and I mean, there's all kinds of steels that they like to play with. I mean, there's a CTS XHP, which is a carpenter steel, and then you got S30V, which is very, very popular, S35 VN, which is in my EDC forums knife there. I don't know, they just they seem to be very open to ideas and changes that their customers feel they should make, and it's a good thing, I feel, and let's see, how many knives do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that's 13 knives there. Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 13. So 13 Spydercos. I'm sure that number is going to increase in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to say I've been completely won over by them, because they are cool, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say for today. I don't want this video to go on and on and on for minutes and minutes and minutes. But anyway, ending it now. Leave any comments, questions, queries, that sort of thing below. You know where to leave it. Okay, take care. Bye bye.